starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
We live. We live. Yeah.
So bouncing up and down. As you get better, lift one leg up, and as it tires, alternate legs. And simply bounce. Holding it there. And just simply bounce. When you get to a more advanced degree, you can lift both legs up and put your body into a V shape.
Good morning, church. Good afternoon or good evening, whatever time it may be for you. I want to demonstrate something for you. This is what it looks like when you lean on your own understanding. You see how our posture is out of alignment? In order to get back in alignment, you have to go back to the spiritual chiropractor, and his name is Jesus. E-G-E-L-L-O-C. That's college spelled backwards. You see this right here? There's still time for you to get aligned. Start today.
That's the show, Dada!
The last 7 days have been totally insane, but we made it. Now buckle up and get ready for the most organic conversation on the internet with your hosts, the Force, the King, the Kamikaze, the Great and Terrible. Up to it, down to it. Pour a glass and talk some trash. Welcome to the show, and thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a good time tonight right along with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend. Let's go up to it.
Yes, sir. Gang, gang. It's time once again for everybody to come aboard. Up to it, down to it. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Feels good to always still be able to call you that. Welcome back to another episode of Up to It, Down to It, the most organic conversation on the internet. I am here solo dolo tonight. Sad story. I need the little crying sound. Nah, I'm just kidding, man. The big shout out to my brothers. They are taking a well-deserved rest, continuing their vacation. They went passport bros on us. Nah, just kidding. But no, man, they had a good time. So they are resting, continuing to enjoy their vacation. So you got your boy. I'm gonna try not to get us canceled. I'm going to try not to get us canceled. All right. No promises. No promises, right? It's just, it might be one of them nights. So, all right, cool. Here we go. So as we tend to do, we always talk about what we sipping on tonight. Tonight, since it's just me and you, we're going to be on the vibe tonight. It's going to be a vibe all evening. And speaking of a vibe, big shout out to the gardeners out here, the grass rollers, if you understand what I'm saying, right? Big shout out to y'all. I'll be putting one in the air for y'all a little bit later on tonight. I guarantee that. But yeah, so it's a vibe tonight. When I got to take a shot, I'm going to finish up what's left of my Parmesan. Yeah, I've been on Parmesan today, man. Been chilling. My bottle is basically empty, but I'm feeling good. I'm in a good mood tonight. I'm ready to start a riot. Not really. I'm gonna try not to start a riot, man. I'm gonna try not to start a riot because probably by now you already saw what the title for tonight is, right? You already saw the question of the night. All right. And I want to know honestly, and a big shout out to the comment section, first of all, because the comments always keeps it live. We always be rolling because of you guys, right? So I'm asking y'all in the stream, I'm asking y'all in the chat, do you experience more or witness more misandry or misogyny? All right, okay. I'll probably check the chat a little bit later on and get some thoughts. And by the way, tell a friend to tell a friend. I want to know what your experiences are. I want to know what your thoughts are on this. I of course have a stunning video package to connect some dots with you guys, right? But I want to know what y'all think. I want to know what you think. Do you experience in your life, in your lived experience, like everybody talks about? Do you experience more misogyny or misandry? What do you think happens the most? Holla at me. Let me know in the chat what you think. And there's no wrong answer. I just want to know what y'all think out there. What's happening, babe? I see you. I see you. Always ever supportive. That's my girl right there. That's my girl right there. That's my girl right there. But and big shout out to everybody else out there too. We about to get it in, man. Listen, all right. So we got a couple people coming in. We got a couple people rolling. We might get one of them back on later on. We'll see how it goes. No promises, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Anyway, back to the question of the night. Do you experience or witness more misogyny or misandry? Whew. Whew. What a title. I think I need to sit on that off top. Yep. Now, some of y'all may be wondering why this question. Well, I came across a string of videos actually, mostly from viewers like you. Big shout out to you. That kind of made me ask this question, right? Is there more misogyny or misandry? And then I actually came across a video that actually literally asked that question. I'll show y'all that in a little bit. But that's the question of the night. You witness more misogyny or misandry in your life and your lived experience? All right? That's the question. Here we go. We got to talk about a couple of things because a lot of stuff happened since the last time we got together, right? For example, like I told y'all, Diddy basically walked. All right, he didn't walk. Now, it wasn't, he kind of limped. He limped. But, hey, man, the two major charges that he had, he was found not guilty of. I don't know. I don't know what y'all think of. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. I mean, look, I got mixed feelings about it. Personally, I think that, as I said last time, Diddy is a scoundrel and he deserves to be underneath the jail for a very, very, very long time, in my honest and humble opinion. However, I don't know if he's guilty of the RICO, and that's what I said back then, and I still maintain that point. Good luck charging him with the RICO is all I'm saying, right? Yeah, you got to prove some stuff. And then Cassie's testimony, for example, I don't think Cassie's testimony was strong enough to put him away for that. I mean, she was basically in on it. Let's look. She basically was in on it. She loved the freak offs. Can I say freak offs? Can I say freak offs still? I haven't been cut off yet. I don't think. Nope, we're good. She loved the freak offs. She wanted to have another freak off. She got away from Diddy and still went and had another freak off with Diddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know if that qualifies as being under duress. That kind of sounds like it was something that you wanted to do. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I could be wrong. Challenge me in the comments. What's happening, Diamond? Oh, this is gonna be a good one for you. It's gonna be a good one for you. Happy Friday to you as well. All right. And so anyway, yeah, did he walk? Did he do it? Yeah. Did he kind of get away with it? Yeah, did he kind of got away with it? I'm just saying. All right. Who's not gonna get away with it? And I want to shout out to all of the frontline employees. If you are a frontline employee, I want to give you a shout out and also a word of caution not to do what this young lady did. So there's a story out. I don't got a video. I'm not gonna play the video. There's a story out I just seen earlier today, actually right before I popped on here. This young lady stabbed and killed her manager because her manager sent her home. Because her manager sent her home a couple of times in her testimony, right? Manager sent her home. She didn't like it. She left. She came back with a knife and went stabby stabby. Now, I guess she won't be able to go home, period. So, frontline employees, keep your leverage. All right. You can always go get another job. You can always go get another job. That is, unless you come back and retaliate and make your boss, you know, you know what I'm saying? You do that, then and then put it on social media on top of that, like she does. I mean, if you do stuff like that, you're throwing your whole future away. The irony is that the young lady said that I keep calling her a young lady. She's an agent of chaos, but whatever. What she said was uh, she was bullied by the manager, bullied by her boss, and her boss was ruining her future by sending her home early. So she decided to take it upon herself to ruin her own future even more and stabbed up her boss. That's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Uh, there's a lot of things I don't understand just in general in life. That's gonna be one of them. I don't understand how you throw your own life away to try to mess up somebody else's life. That might be the craziest thing I've heard in a long time. One of the craziest things I've heard in a long time, certainly. All right. So again, frontline employees, especially if you have like a McDonald's. I mean, look, I worked at McDonald's too. It's not exactly a high skill position. You know, you can always get another job. Is all I'm saying. You can always get another better job. It ain't worth going back and retaliating on your boss for sending you home. You'll come back and work better. All right. That's accountability. I understand. We don't like accountability. We're going to talk a little bit about accountability tonight. Don't worry. As a matter of fact, I think let's go ahead. Let's go ahead into that. Do we want to start a ride already? Y'all want to start a ride early? um, let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. All right, I thought this was interesting. So anyway, there's just certain things that just not worth throwing away. I don't think, right? Some things are just not worth throwing away. I feel like strong relationships aren't worth throwing away. I feel like jobs and your livelihood in general is not worth throwing away. I also believe that good friendships, many times, are not worth throwing away. Now, also, I say good friendships. I'm talking about good, fruitful friendships. I'm talking about you know you help them, they help you. We all on the same page. We helping each other. Like those kind of ones, not those ones where they only reach out to you when they need something. Okay, all right. Not those ones that forget that you had their back for a long time. Not them. Real friendship. Real friends. I feel like it's not really worth doing that. And you have to ask yourself sometimes if some things can ruin our friendship, right? And something small can ruin our friendship. Were we really friends to begin with? Right? So with that being said, I got a uh, viewer submission here that I want you all to take a look at. And I want y'all to tell me what y'all think also in the comments, and I'm gonna give you my feedback. But this is a woman who lost a quote decade long friendship after the new girlfriend got interferes. The new girlfriend interfered, and the guy got tired of arguing with his new girlfriend, got tired of her jealousy, so he chose to be with the girlfriend and threw the old friend away like an old glove. That's what happened. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. I thought my is it up? Is the screen shit? Oh, it is up. Okay, okay, all right, yeah. Damn right it's up. Damn right it's up. Let's put it right here. Yeah, yeah. Pressing the wrong buttons and shit. We live. This is normally a point where I would have to take a sip or something because I'm messing up. All right, here we go. I'm taking my sip of something. See, I'm holding myself accountable even when I'm solo dolo. It's not bad, yo. Big shout out to Vibe. Vibe Van Dange. Wait, can you see it? There we go. Van Dange. If that's not how you pronounce it, I don't know. Yeah, that's how I'm pronouncing it. Kick rocks. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's take a look at this here. If I can get, yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we're in the right spot. All right, cool. Here we go.
What's the narrative that we?
No?
So my best friend of almost 10 years just cut me off like a few weeks ago because I was told that their girlfriend is not comfortable with our relationship. So he's tired of arguing with her and he wants in his relationship. So he's going to cut me off. Now, before y'all go getting y'all britches up y'all ass, our friendship has never been nothing but platonic, and he has hundreds of girlfriends, not just moi. I'm not even the one he see in person or like in a lot of the pictures at all. It's a lot of them other bitches. But I get it. The thing that just kind of bothered me is when I had my girlfriend and she didn't like you, nigga, I just dealt with the consequences. But when the shoe's on the other foot, you want to cut me off and then tell me you hope it don't affect our relationship. It absolutely will. It absolutely will. What the fuck is up? What the fuck? How was you cool? So my best friend of almost 10 years just cut me off like a few weeks ago because I was told that their girlfriend is not comfortable with our relationship.
Damn. His girlfriend wasn't comfortable with their relationship. Their relationship lasted, according to her, about 10 years or so. We had a 10-year friendship that was blown up by a girlfriend. Let me go ahead and take my shot now. Let me go ahead and sip on this now. Oh my God. All right. Wow. I have a few thoughts on this. See, on the one hand, I'll sympathize with the guy and his girlfriend, right? On the one hand, all right? I can sympathize with him because he can say, man, you know what? This might be the one. And, I really, really feel like this is the one. And I'm not going to let nothing get in between me and the one. Right? I don't want nothing going on between me and the one. And probably, there's a seed of jealousy in there before. The young lady probably been cheated on before, or maybe she, just had a general bad experience. There's a lot of borrowed trauma out there, right? You internalize the trauma that somebody else went through, right? Somebody else had that situation happen to them, and you internalize it like it happened to you. There's a lot of that going on too. So maybe there's some of that. Maybe there's some of that. But I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't know that the guy made the right call. I mean, I understand where he's coming from. I just don't know that he made the right call. Again, there's jealousy probably involved there. And when it's jealousy for no reason, or just something like that, like, no, I don't. That doesn't sound like a relationship that's going to last long. It was somebody that wants you to cut off friends of yours for the sake of cutting off friends of yours, right? Not because anything is going on or did go on or anything like that. Somebody that just been your friend, been your road dog for a long time. Maybe they happen to be the opposite sex, maybe not, whatever, right? But if that's my friend, that's my friend. And if we gonna be together, we should, you should know my friend is my friend. We should all be friends, you know? Not that kind of friend. Me and you are that kind of friend. But we should all be friends. We should all be able to grab a drink. We should all be able to roll up something. You know what I'm saying? Put one in the air together. So I think that the guy, if this was fair or foul, that's right. I should have done that. Should have done a fair or foul with it, right? This is the guy. I think is foul. You know, I would never imagine telling my wife that she can't be friends with somebody, generally speaking, right? Um, and I can't really think of a time where she would say the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, there would have to be a more legitimate reason other than, I don't like that y'all have been friends for 10 years. I'm jealous of y'all's general relationship. There'd have to be a deeper rooted reason than that, in my opinion. It would have to be deeper than just, I don't like that y'all talk so much. I don't like that y'all been friends. Right. But plus, she said, I mean, this don't necessarily mean anything, but she said when she had a girlfriend, that means she don't even like, she ain't even buying what he's selling. She ain't even smelling what he's stepping in, one way or the other. So she's I don't know. I don't know if that's a good move. I gotta disagree with that. I think that's foul. I don't know. I don't know that I would have done that. Like, to some extent, like my friends, your friends, like we should be cool. And unless there's some level of disrespect, and like, you and them are doing things that disrespect us or vice versa, then yeah, okay, yeah, shut that down, homie. Y'all can't talk no more. I don't want to see them come across your phone no more. But otherwise, I don't know. Maybe I'm too laid back. I don't know. What y'all think? All right, here we go. That sound like this girlfriend. Sound like his girlfriend. This girlfriend. Sound like his girlfriend probably doesn't trust him. Word, word. So she told him probably to cut off all his female friends. Listen, I've seen that. I've certainly been a witness to that. You can't have no female friends except me. listen, my experience is that there's probably some jealousy in that, right? There's some fear in that. There's a fear of y'all are gonna get too friendly one day. And as a man, I can understand that because that's a lot. That's how a lot of us feel about y'all male friends. You know why? Because we know y'all male friends. We know y'all male friends are just waiting for the opportunity. So I mean I understand, but I don't. I just so, in general, like if my wife were to say generally speaking, and then, don't talk to random women or general, these general people. All right, cool. But like there's gonna be some people, like there was some people that I considered solid, strong, long term friends. And nothing ever happened with us, and they were not guys. You know what I'm saying, right? So I don't know. Maybe I just don't get jealous like that. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know. I don't know. Some things just ain't that serious to me. Speaking of which, let me see if we can get this to share immediately. Probably not. Let's try it. Oh, let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Speaking of whether or not it's worth it, whether the punishment fits the crime. Got another situation here, yet another viewer submission. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta play the theme. That's right. That's right. Hold on. That's right. I forgot about that. I'm gonna have to take a drink on the other side of it. But yeah, okay. Here we go.
What?
All right, just having a good time here, man. Just having a good time. I hope y'all enjoyed that. All right. Big shout out to this submission also, right? So this is from the Quicksilver Show. Why is it so damn small? I can't see it. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this one. So I'm gonna read this message. It say, "Ciao, ciao." We about to talk about some shit. If it starts with "ciao," your message start with "ciao." All right. So I'm gonna just get right to it. My husband just found out I've been secretly selling feet pics. The fuck? Ever since I got laid off. It's not funny. My husband just found out I've been secretly selling feet pics ever since I got laid off. He's mad, but honestly, I feel like he needs to just get over it. He doesn't help me with my nails, hair, toiletries, or even basic stuff like new underwear. Shit gets weirder and weirder. I had to do something for money, and this is the easiest way that allows me to still stay home and keep the kids' schedules. Selling feet pics. Am I tripping? Now he's saying he got to rethink our marriage, but he needs to understand that I need more financial help while I'm out of work. What should I do? I don't want to lose my husband, but also I need the bread. I don't want to lose my husband, but also I need the bread. Whew. All right, so this was a viewer submission, so they wanted our opinion. So I'm gonna give you my opinion. By all means, disagree with me in the comments. I think this is probably one of those times where it's not about love or money. It's about respect, right? I, it's about respect. I think you are married. You were selling feet pics behind his back. Now, there's two things with that. Number one, people, generally speaking, that invest in feet pics are generally freaks and weirdos. All right. Not all, but generally, some kind of a freak and a weirdo. Um, and many of which it starts with feet. Like the feet, your feet is a gateway drug, right? It starts with admiring the feet, right? And then there's everything up above that, right? So if you're going to do something like that and your husband is not involved, your husband is not in alignment with you doing something like that, then I would have to say for her, I don't think that's the right move. All right. So she said that she don't want to lose him, but she needs her bread. Isn't that the point of them being married? Isn't that the point of him as a husband? Like as a husband, no, he needs to, of course, take care of her, right? Take care of their household, take care of their family. I'd imagine he's probably upset because she doesn't need to do that. She feels like she does, but she probably doesn't need to do that. And I look, I know some personally who are like that. They don't need to go to work. They don't need to add the extra stress onto themselves. They don't need to do these things, but they do because they feel like they have to contribute in some kind of way or in a different kind of way. So, diagnosing that, I completely understand why he was mad. Lack of respect. We should be able to talk about this. We should be cooperative about this. Now, listen, look here, listen, look here. You selling pictures of your feet. You making money selling pictures of your feet. We can start an only feet page right now. All right, I do the marketing, I do the picture taking, right? All that good stuff. All right, I'm telling you something. I'm telling you some good stuff. All right, but we're gonna do this together. This is gonna be a joint venture. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna be something that you're gonna do by yourself, and she shouldn't do that by herself. She shouldn't have done that by herself, right? She need her money. That's what she said. That's selfish. Two become one. We supposed to be in this together. She need her bread though. I'm just saying. That's what she said. She needs her money. Even though she got a husband who probably will provide for her. Probably, listen, man, for all my married men out there, right? When we said to our wives, I do, we that meant all the above. We would pledged ourselves, our lives to them, right? And with everything to the best of our ability within reason, we will do for them. If we can move heaven and earth, we will. If we can move mountains, we will, right? That's what it is. I just, it's hard to envision a scenario where, she needed to do that because, like she said he doesn't help her with nails and she say nails, hair, toiletries, and underwear. You mean to tell me you selling pictures on OnlyFeet so you can buy nails, hair, and checks notes, underwear? You know what I'm saying? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. I just, if that were me, I would feel some kind of way also. You could have pulled me in on this. We could have talked about this. We could have, if it was something I didn't feel comfortable with, would she not do it? Because let's think about this. All right, given what she said here, right, given her response, if she talked to him and he wasn't comfortable with her doing that, would she respect him enough to not do it? Do y'all think she would respect him enough to not do it? I don't. But given her response, I don't think that she would have respected him enough to not do it if he said, I don't think it's okay. Look at what she said at the end. Now he's saying we got to rethink our marriage, but he needs to understand I need more financial help while I'm out of work. Well, why don't y'all have a discussion about that? You need more help. Husband, I need more help to get nails, hair, toiletry, and underwear. That's what she said, right? Talk to your husband then. But don't go behind his back doing stuff like that, man. That's an easy way to get your husband to not trust you, man. And that's a lack of respect. And men value respect more than we value money. I'm sorry, love. Sorry. We value respect more than we value love. Okay? I'm not saying we don't want love or we don't want to be loved. We don't want to be loved on. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we value respect more than that, right? You can not love me, but still respect me, and that's okay. You can not like me and still respect me, and that's okay. But what you can't do is claim that you love me, but not respect me. That's how men operate. All right. Women, in some cases, will allow themselves to be disrespected for this thing that they feel called love. That's a conversation for another episode. I ain't gonna get into all that. Just something for you to think about. And of course, as always, nothing's true for everybody, but everything is true for somebody. And you probably know that somebody is probably your friend, probably a friend of yours. It's not none of you. I know, because you all are perfect. You all are going to heaven. You all are paragons of virtue, paladins of truth and justice. But them scallywag friends of yours are the ones I'm talking about. So anyway, I think this is I think she's tripping. She says, "Am I tripping?" Yeah, I think she's tripping. I think she needs to go and repair that relationship with her husband. I think she need to go and really talk with him about that. Right? You really need to talk to him about how they're gonna survive. Is it a matter of survival or is it a matter of luxury? And I know some people are going to say, "Well, she should be able to make her own money." She should, right? But respectfully and within the boundaries of their marriage. Shouldn't be doing stuff that's outside the comfort zone of your other half, right? Your other half. The two become one. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man. Yeah, yeah. Go tell them scallywag friends of yours. AI is a magical tool for folks to come up that way. Just say, yeah. Tell you what. Anyway, yeah, I think that's well in line because again, what we care about the most is respect, right? And so, with that being said, that goes right back to the question of the night. Okay, do you experience or witness more misogyny or more misandry? What do you think is more prevalent in today's society? What is more prevalent? What do you see the most? Misogyny, the hatred, the contempt for women, or misandry, the opposite, the hatred and contempt for men. What do you see more? Right? I have a few thoughts on it. I'm going to give my thoughts in a little bit. But that's the question. What do you see more? All right. What do you witness more? All right. Let's get to this This next submission, because I think now this one is a doozy right here, right? We might be on this one for a little bit. Because this one, speaking of whether or not you experience more misogyny or misandry, this next one, this woman actually says, and I quote, "Women don't need to be accountable because we do everything." All right? Women don't need to be accountable because women already do everything. So there's no need in holding women accountable. This is what was said. Don't believe me. I know. It's hard to believe. I ain't believe it either. Take a look.
Nowadays, we don't have to be held accountable because we're doing everything.
Oh my God. Pause. Whoa. I'm sorry.
We're doing everything. We're doing everything. So let's say Sarah's a perfect specimen. You pay all your own bills.
I do.
Run your own business. You pay your own payroll. You've got employees. You've got your business about you.
Also true.
You know how to cook.
Yes.
You know how to clean.
Yeah, but I hire those.
But if you had to do it yourself.
It's true. I know
If
how.
maids fell off the planet of the earth,
Okay.
you know
I
how
don't
to.
like calling them maids. I call them by their names.
Whether you outsource or not, yeah, you're doing everything.
Okay.
So in that sense, if I'm coming into a new relationship and I already do everything and I'm used to doing everything and you don't take anything off my plate as far as doing everything, even if that means you're not paying for the outsourcing of me to, hey girl, can you come over and do that thing you do when you're in my house and when you leave it's clean like magic? Okay. Then what is the point of you? Why do I have to be held accountable to somebody who's not changing my life? And why would I follow your lead if I don't feel like you're going anywhere? So now men don't know how to lead because I don't have anyone who will follow, but I'm not having anyone who will follow because I'm not exhibiting the leadership qualities, but because you're not giving me an opportunity, but because I don't know how to be a man, because I was probably only raised by my mom and my mom doesn't know how to be a man because it takes a man to raise a man. And it's like this never ending story of now I can't be a leader because she won't let me lead her because she saw her mom work 3 jobs and she knows how to do everything all by herself. And here I come as the man and I don't know how to be a man because I was raised by my mom. And now that I'm raised by my mom and I'm being a man and I don't have any leadership qualities because I never led anybody, but now I also don't have the wherewithal to take on any of the things off of your plate. And I feel like I'm not taking those things off my plate. So you don't see me as a leader and you continue to go in your masculine and you continue to do all the things and you do live your life according to, I don't need you, but I want you. And that's a good place to live because should you be dependent on anybody? No, but I feel like the power dynamic of all the things that happen are because we don't let men lead and men, they don't want to be leaders. The beautiful part about surrendering to your man or submitting to a man who's led by the right thing is if this sink goes down, it's not my fault. I'm not the cat. I'm not the cat.
That's a fact.
I did not lead us into detriment.
Okay, feminism is a scam.
Feminism is a scam. I do not want to be independent. I want to be so codependent. I need my husband. I want my husband. I want to follow his lead. That's how God created me. He created me in a way to follow. He created me as a helpmate. He created me as an opposite to Adam, right? If women could be a woman, if women acted like women
Instead of men.
Because
they're acting like men.
We'd have better men.
Well, the last 15 seconds of that was fire. All right, let's get to it. There's a lot to think about there, a lot to break down. Not a lot to break down. She kind of said a lot of different things, right? And I got a couple of thoughts about the entirety of what she said, because damn, she said a lot. I think the centerpiece at the end of what she said is the most important part, right? Is that there is an expectation of men to lead, and yet a lot of women won't allow the man to lead, right? For whatever reason, right? Whatever reason. They'll think about, make up whatever different reason, right? And the more successful the women are, generally speaking, the more successful they are on their own, the less cooperative they tend to be. Okay, ain't all of them, ain't all of you. Like I said, all of y'all are going to heaven. But them scallywags of y'all's, right? they the ones that ain't like that. Okay, they're the ones that go out and they become the boss bitches and all this other kind of thing, and you can't tell them nothing. They're uncooperative, they're loud, they're noisy, they're bossy. They're battle axes. Don't nobody want to be. They're not peaceful. Don't nobody want to be a part of none of that. Don't nobody want to have none of that. Don't no man want parts of none of that. Okay. And no, we don't give a rat's ass how pretty you are. We don't give two squirts of piss what your degree is or how much money you make. Those are things that are attractive to you, not things that are attractive to us. I'm just saying. Just saying. All right. I think in a lot of cases, there's a narrative that men don't know how to lead because they didn't see a man lead in their house. And to some extent, I can understand the ideology, or I can understand the thought process behind that. I don't know that I agree, though. I don't know that I agree. I've witnessed many people, in fact, Kev, right? Kev on this show, right? I've witnessed many people whose fathers were not actively involved in their lives, and they grew up to be great men, great leaders, great fathers themselves. So, is it harder to learn? Yeah, sure. Absolutely, right? Especially if you don't have another strong male influence in your general vicinity, right? Can it be hard? Absolutely. Is it tough? Absolutely. But impossible? No. And impossible to a point where you make excuses for it? No, no. Now, but the other side of it is this. If also we know that it takes a man to raise a man, right? And for that matter, it takes a man to raise a woman because, you know, the women that are less likely to be, out here in these streets, shall we say, the women that are less likely to, be in the system, shall we say, the women who are less likely to repeat the actions of the McDonald's worker we talked about earlier today have strong fathers usually in their homes. So if it takes a man to raise a kid, if you need a man to raise his child, to raise his seed into an upstanding grown up, an upstanding human being, then why do we celebrate broken homes? Right? If that's the case, then why do we celebrate the broken family so much? Hey, look. There is one thing to end up a single mom. It's another thing to prioritize being a mother over being a wife. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to be a mother, good. I think, in my opinion, it still should be after your wife. I think so. I think so. I think you should be after your wife. Just saying, and guys too. And look, as I always say, I ain't judging nobody, but I'm just saying it's better overall for us to, spread seed on ground that we're gonna keep. You know what I mean? Not just spread seed in general. Spread seed on the ground that we're gonna keep. Right? But also, I can't tell you how many women I've met who have said, well, how many women I've personally spoke to who have said things like, I don't know if I would marry him, but I want to have his kid. I wouldn't mind having his baby, but I wouldn't want to be with him though. I mean, listen, big shout out again to the people, moms, dads, whatever, that got to do all of what they got to do. Big shout out to all of them, right? These people out here making moves, doing what they got to do, okay? And if they happen to be single mothers doing what they got to do, more power to them. But we also know what the statistics say, and we shouldn't be celebrating these types of mentalities. So, and all of it goes back to the feminist movement, the free sex movement, and ultimately that leads to women actually believing that women don't need to be held accountable because they already do everything. And how silly is that? How silly of an idea is that? Because you do stuff, you can't be held accountable. Or you can't be accountable, right? You can't be helpful because, you already got your own money. You can't be cooperative because you a boss, right? You out here like B. Simone talking about how you can't be with a guy that has a regular 9 to 5, right? That's what it is. And these kinds of mentalities, these kinds of attitudes, in my opinion, I think they're cancerous, man. I do. I think it's cancerous, and I think it hurts our communities. I think it hurts our cities. I think it hurts our country, right? I think we have to use a little bit more discretion. Discretion is the key. Without it, all things will fail. If you know, you know. But people got to use more discretion. So, like I said, that woman said a whole lot. Women don't need to be accountable. Men don't know how to lead because they've been raised by single mothers. That's true, right? Women need to be better. Women need to be better at being women. That's interesting. Men need to be better at being men. I think that's true too. But man, let me tell you something. Ever since, well, let's put it this way. There's a saying that goes that a man will sacrifice his life for his family, and a woman will sacrifice her family for her life. With that being said, I'm going to ask the question of the night again. Do you witness more misogyny or more misandry? Do you witness more of a contempt for men or a contempt for women? Bear in mind that, again, she's not the only one who thinks that women can't be accountable. I don't even think, and I don't think that's the central point she was making either. But she's not the only one who would say that women can't be held accountable. Women shouldn't be held accountable. It's the same thing as the ones that say that women shouldn't bring anything to the table or don't need to bring anything to the table. You got to bring peace to the table because, again, we care about peace. That's important. We care about peace and respect. Quiet. Sex, sandwiches, and silence. Be mad if you want to. That's what we want. Sex, sandwiches, and silence. Feed me, fuck me, shut the fuck up. I was just playing. Kinda. The last, not so harsh on the last part. But when I say peace, when I say silence, when I say shut the fuck up, what I mean is men want women that are peaceful, not combative, right? That doesn't mean you can't challenge me every so often. It doesn't mean you can't speak your piece. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean any of that. As I say all the time, my wife is very submissive, but she is far from silent. Okay? She's very submissive, but far from silent. My wife is she will make very clear what she thinks about something or what she feels about something. And then we have a discussion about it and we make a decision. Right? So when I say silence, I mean know when to be quiet. Like know when to just let it chill. Like let stuff relax. Like let my man's come in from work, drink a cold beer, watch something stupid to turn his brain off for an hour or a half hour before you start nagging him, before you start yelling at him about, stuff he left on the floor, about dishes that's still in the sink, about, how you want to get a new Birkin bag or whatever else you can think of to pester him about. Give him some time is all I'm saying. Just give him some time. Y'all want stuff. We want quiet. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. All right, hold on. Let's take a look at some of these comments real quick. Well, hold on, back up real quick. Misandry. Here we go. Misandry has been running the show for the past 40 years. It actually outlived crack. That's a fact. I don't disagree with that at all. The contempt and the hatred for men, I'd argue, has been around for longer than 40 years. I'd argue that's been around probably since the 60s or the 70s, right? We've been hearing forever about how men ain't no good. You know, TV's always depicted men as being stupid and, careless and cheaters and, everything else under the sun that's no good, right? You know what I'm saying? we've always been the no good ones. And then Tyler Perry came along and, Lord Jesus, boy, did men become the bad guys. All right. But I don't disagree with that. Misandry has been running the show and it's been running the communities for a long, long time. I don't disagree with that at all. Okay. This is daughters whose fathers are close are absolutely less likely to be on the pole. That's a fact too. Good stuff. Everyone needs to be accountable. No one is exempt from that, male or female. It's all about your actions and choices. I agree. It's just, unfortunately, Diamond, you're one of the few women that believe that. And you all believe that men should be also accountable. It's just not that you should be also accountable. Believe that other women should be also accountable. And I'm not saying you or any of you, because y'all are perfect, remember? I'm just saying. Just saying. They believe everybody else should be accountable. It's just hard to then hold them accountable, Sad thing is most don't realize, I'm assuming that's an M, most don't realize when men ask a question of what she brings to the table that it seldom has to do with money. Listen, a dude that asks, what do you bring to the table? And he's looking for money, like he's trying to see if you got a degree, a good job and all that kind of stuff. That's probably not the one. That's probably one of the ones you're going to need to be on only feet for. All right. Most of us don't. We don't, because most of us don't really give a shit how much you make. I hope this is being heard. Most men don't give a shit how much you make. We don't give a shit how many degrees you got. We don't give a shit how much of a boss you are. We don't give a shit about your companies. We don't give a shit that you got your own. You got your own house, your own car, your own this. You go on vacations. You buy your own wigs. You buy your own nails. We don't give a shit about none of that. I mean, that's cute or whatever. In fact, if you do, that's great. That's one less thing, or what I probably mentioned like 8 or 9. That's 8 or 9 less things that we got to worry about. Those are not deal breakers for us. They're not. They're not deal breakers for men, generally speaking. And the guy who your job is a deal breaker for, I mean, it had to be something like, you work at, man, hell, I don't know. You work part-time somewhere, you work like 15 hours a week and you just content doing that forever. But even then, so what, man? That's what you're supposed to be able to take care of that. Dude supposed to be able to take care of that anyway. That's what I'm saying. Most of us don't care about your money. I'm just saying. We don't care about your money, right? Last one. Oh yeah. Misandry been running rampant, especially on dark skinned men. Listen, I got it. Matter of fact, hold on. I got something just to this point right here. Because again, we still asking the question, and let me know what y'all think. I said, stink. Let me know what y'all think. There we go. Yeah, I think we want. Yeah, this the one. Yeah, this the one. This the one right here. Listen. Misogyny is a terrible, terrible thing, and I am not about to sit up here and try to pretend or act like misogyny doesn't exist. In fact, when I'm gonna give y'all my final answer a little bit later, okay? But I'm not sitting here trying to say that misogyny doesn't exist, but I want to make some arguments real quick, and I want y'all to give me your thoughts and your feedback. All right, so let's take a look at this one here. I just, this quote about dark skinned men, as a fellow darkly chocolate minted melanated gentleman myself, I know firsthand the treatment that us dark chocolate melanated brothers get, right? I'm just saying. Y'all have a look at this.
I pop my balloon because you are very fine down to the ankles.
I do what I can.
I just, it's a pet peeve of mine when men wear pants that don't cover their ankles.
Okay.
So that was why I popped.
Why'd you end up popping your balloon?
He said the smile thing, and I'm not much of a smiler.
I'm not much of a smiler.
Or a laugher. I'm more serious, so yeah.
Whoa.
You won't really catch me smiling that much.
Why?
I don't.
You don't want to smile?
No.
She's smiling right now.
I know. You're very handsome.
I appreciate it.
Now, is Unique someone that you're trying to?
Yeah, she is.
Popped because it's smiling.
He likes yours.
I know.
Popping your balloon because I think you're well dressed for yourself, but for me, I like someone that has like more of a baggy fit to their clothes. You look amazing, but for me, I like someone that has like an upscale streetwear style. That's pretty much why I think that walking together, our style just would clash. I mean, together today, we look amazing. Do you usually wear tight-fitted pants? Because for me, like, I like someone that has like a looser, baggy fit, like something that's like a little oversized.
I wear whatever I'm feeling. I'm not going to switch up the way that I dress myself for anybody because I know I carry myself well and I dress well.
Yeah.
So I guess it ain't meant.
Unfortunately, that is all the balloons popped, but we do thank you for coming on.
So let me get this straight, okay? Every one of them admitted that he was a good-looking brother. Every one of them said that, he looked nice and all that stuff. He seems like a pretty nice, kind guy, but his ankles were showing. His ankles were showing. The one woman said, and again, I'm being very, very respectable calling these people women. I'm just playing. But the one woman said, she prefers men that dress differently, of an urban streetwear kind of style. There's no substance in that. There's no substance in that. Right? This is the most superficial shit out there. You know what I'm saying? But wait. But also, they all have preferences. I can hear somebody saying now, "Oh, Trey, they got preferences, Trey. People are allowed to have preferences, Trey. And their preference is to not be with a man whose pants don't cover his ankles, Trey." Right? All right. So that's women preferences. But also women, when we have preferences.
You need to really check on your ends before you talk about long or short hair, because a lot of girls with long hair be having no hair just because it's long is thin. So yeah, I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay.
Sounds triggered.
It's not triggered. I'm just.
First of all, I didn't say the hairstyle she had was not good.
You
I
said
just
you
said
don't like girls with long hair. That's not right. You should never said that at all. As a black brother, you should have kept that as what it was. You should have just said, you know, you're not just my type. But hair, it's a different. You can't talk about hair. If you want hair, go get what you want. If you want Becky with the long hair, go get what you want. Don't talk to black.
But isn't that kind of the point? If like he's saying what his preferences are, right? If he doesn't like that look, you don't like that look, right? That's just a few minutes ago. The entire panel of women popped their balloons because of the guy's pants. You can buy pants.
Like women up here about hair. That's just it.
You can buy hair. Hell, you did. Hell, she done that. She bought hair. Her hair ain't that long. No wonder she all offended. No wonder she triggered. But you can buy more hair. You can give off the appearance of somebody that got long hair. They canceled bro because his pants.
And I'm not triggered. Like I said, at the end of the day, your hair is nappy. Your hair is short. You should be happy where you can.
I'm not triggered. At the end of the day, you're nappy. Your hair's short. You look like trash. Nah. I'm not triggered. You're triggered.
Came from. Period.
Can I talk or you gonna interrupt me again?
I don't want to hear what you have to say.
You still
but
gon-
you can say what you want to say,
Yeah.
but don't talk about black people here. But
So
let's hear from him.
So again, her hairstyle, there's nothing wrong with it. So it's my preference, right? So if I'm here to date, I'm here to find someone for me. So I'm not dating multiple people. You're not dating multiple people. So my comment to her has no sort of significance
But
on
I'm
you.
a black woman. If I want to wear my hair like hers one day, what you gonna say? Oh, I don't like your hair. I'm gonna go date Becky up the street. Follow along. Thank you.
And that is why she's in the line. I ask a question again. Is there more misogyny or misandry? More misogyny or misandry? It's just pants, it's just hair, all are triggered. True, but 100% of the people triggered are women. You're right, but 100% of the people triggered were the women. The women were triggered about bro's pants, and this woman was triggered about the other guy's preference. More misogyny or more misandry? You know, what I can tell you is that in many cases, being a man, period, automatically makes you the bad guy. Being a straight man makes you like a level 5 villain. Being a straight Christian man, woo, level 99 demon. Straight Christian white male, well over 5,000. Straight Christian male, and he dare be black? He's over 9,000 demon. Just saying, man. I'm just saying. there's very few things that men. Well, I got to find that video. Maybe I'll play it next time or something like that. I don't feel like looking for it. I've been drinking. But there's that video where there's another thing that men can't do. Women where some women said like a man falling asleep in the passenger seat is sassy, right? So they just add that on the list of hundreds of things that men aren't allowed to do, along with not having a preference. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's interesting. It's an interesting phenomenon that um, a lot of women are unhappy in their relationships, and that's men's fault. But also, a lot of men were raised by just their mom, and that's also men's fault. It's all our fault. Now, look, fellas, I'm saying this somewhat facetiously, but only somewhat facetiously, right? Because I also have said, I've been on the record saying, in the end, it starts with us. It starts and it ends with us, right? We allow a lot of things. We allowed a lot of things. It starts and ends with us. So they're not entirely wrong. But it can't be all us, can it? It can't be, everything can't be our fault, can it? No? Yeah? Everything's our fault? Damn. It's crazy out here in these streets. So anyway, back to our ultimate question. Is there more misogyny or more misandry? And before I give my final thought on that question that I've been answering all night, I want to play this last video real quick. So this brother's breaking down misogyny and misandry in society. So let's go. Let's take a look. Oh, matter of fact, yeah, that was one of them things. It was one of them. Was a viewer submission. Yeah, that's right. Woohoo! We get to one of the viewer submissions. Let's go. Odd. That's not what's supposed to happen. We live, baby. Did that work? It did work. There we go. Now we back up. All right, here we go.
And I wrote them down to make sure I don't forget it. You don't care about mandatory paternity tests. You don't care about paternity fraud. You don't care about male suicide rates. You don't care about equalizing hard, laborious jobs outside. You don't want to equalize that. You don't care about what happens to people that are falsely accused, which is almost always exclusively men. You don't actually care about the declining school performance, the rise in ADHD diagnosis, and the psychiatric medication that comes from it. You don't care about the lack of homeless shelters for men. You don't care about the weaponization of the family court, the equal custodial rights, reproductive say for men, reduction in child support and alimony, pathologizing of just men and masculinity in general, negative attitudes towards even men that want a nuclear family. You don't think or care about any of these things. And I'm not even saying it's just the feminists that don't care about it.
Nobody
I'm saying most people who don't do what I do don't care about this at all. And you're creating, and we talked about this 80-20. Well, what's happening to the 80%? You don't care.
Not good.
And the beauty is if I just get the man I want, if I just get the partner I want, if I just, I don't care. I don't care about what's happening with men. Let's bring attention back to women. That's what the detective did in that show.
Right.
And that is what society in Western cultures is unfortunately like. Most people only care about males or boys or men if they are their brother, their son, or their father, or their uncle, or their close friend. This society, in the quest to be fair to women, to improve their rights, allow the worst representatives to take it to its furthest extreme.
Right.
When we talk so much about misogyny, most women can't tell you what the term is for a strong distaste and hatred for men. What's the term? What's
Misandry.
the misandry? Being a misandrist. Most men's experiences that we keep labeling as incels, we keep labeling as misogynists. Their experiences in coworker situations, in the schools, dating, on dating apps, is that a lot of women are either misandrous or they're so reductionistic of men that if you don't have the money, you have no say and you need to shut up. And even if you do have the money, it's happy wife, happy life once I'm in your life. I'm going to list these things off, and I wrote them down to make sure I don't forget it. You don't care about mandatory paternity tests.
All right. Yeah. 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 Yeah to all of that. Right? Listen, man. I think that the reason why misogyny gets so much attention is merely because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Right? People in the oppression Olympics, people who are oppression grifting are quick to hop on the struggle bandwagon and quick to hitch themselves onto someone else's struggle, right? So while misogyny is actually a thing in real life and actually did and does exist in some spaces, much like racism, if everything is misogyny, then nothing is misogyny. Just like racism, if everything is racist, then nothing is racist. It's just normal. If everything's racist, then racist is just normal. Now, I don't believe that, of course. I think that racism is racism. I think that misogyny is misogyny. Misandry is misandry, right? But the reality is that in most cases, misogyny is nothing more than a deflection for the woman being wrong, the woman being corrected. Just like mansplaining. Mansplaining isn't really a thing. Literally, mansplaining is just a man explaining something, right? And the woman feeling some type of way about the fact that the man is explaining it. Now, yeah, there may be some of them that are like, they don't know that you know stuff. They don't, or maybe they don't think that you know something, right? But honestly, like if I'm a mechanic and I'm talking about stuff on the inside of the car, right? Stuff within the engine, right? Typically speaking, the average woman that I come across isn't going to know what the hell any of that stuff is. They're not going to know a carburetor, catalytic converter. They're not going to know the difference, generally speaking. So if I run into somebody and I start explaining, I run into a woman, I start explaining to them all the stuff that goes on in the engine and what needs to get fixed, and she happens to be that one that understands, am I mansplaining? Or am I just going off of the fact that I've experienced most people that I talk to don't know what I'm talking about because they're not professional mechanics like I am? Am I mansplaining? Or am I just explaining from a professional perspective? Well, see, if you ask a lot of women and you are, again, male, white, or black, straight, Christian, right? If you're that, then yes, you explaining anything to them is mansplaining. Explaining anything is mansplaining. You're explaining it because you think they're stupid. This is what society has taught a lot of men. And then meanwhile, anything that men want to, level the playing field, equal the playing field, whatever it is somehow something we're trying to take away from women. Like again, like you mentioned, mandatory DNA tests, mandatory paternity tests, right? I'm on board with that. I think that's a great idea. Man, because how many men have been in trouble with child support for children that ain't theirs? Been on the hook for child support, had their lives financially set back or in some cases ruined over children that aren't theirs, right? People that want more fairness and balance within the child support system. I can't tell you how many fathers, how many men I know, and how many I've heard of that I don't know, who had their lives basically ruined by child support, ruined by allegations. That's another thing, ruined by allegations of stuff. Lives ruined by just allegations. Y'all remember Duke? Remember the Duke lacrosse team? Do y'all remember the Duke lacrosse team? The Duke lacrosse team was accused of, basically gang raping this girl, right? It was a lie. She came out, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 or so years later, admitting that, it wasn't true. Guess what? Those kids, those young men still had to live with the tag of being a sexual predator, all off of an accusation. Johnny Depp. We all saw what happened with Johnny Depp, all off of accusations. So, is there more misogyny or more misandry? Do we witness more misogyny or more misandry? In my opinion, the answer is we all witness more misandry. However, misogyny does run more rampant, but not from who you think. The biggest misogynist on the, hear me out here. You won't miss it. The biggest misogynists are women. The biggest misandrists, depending on how you want to pronounce it, the biggest misandrists, also women. Don't nobody hate women like other women. Hey, y'all can sit up here and pretend to be girly girls and girls all y'all want. Y'all can sit up here and pretend to be sister all you want. Y'all can pretend to be in the 90s kind of world. I'm glad I got my girls all you want. But don't nobody hate women like women. Don't nobody hate women like women. Don't nobody hate on women like women. I saw a video. I don't feel like I don't think I'm not gonna go find it for the sake of time. I saw a video earlier this week that said, from a woman, by the way, that said they said, if you want to find a good man, just go take him from his girlfriend. While I don't disagree necessarily, I mean, I disagree, but while I understand what she was saying there's a lot of good men stuck in relationships with trash women. At the same time, that mentality is exactly the problem. It's okay, just go take him from her. That's the problem. I'm just saying, man. Don't nobody hate on women like women. Biggest misogynists, in my honest opinion, are women. Right? However, in society has misandry ingrained in them so much that we don't even realize it. See, society hates men, especially Western society in America. We hate men, especially if they're, straight, white, Christian, not frail, especially if they're that. We despise those people. We despise them for some reason in this country. We hate men. A lot of women hate men. A lot of women will yell out that men hate women, but a lot of women hate men. And hatred, in my opinion, itself is born of jealousy. Uh-oh. Hatred itself is born of jealousy. And to quote Captain Hook from Walt Disney's Peter Pan, a jealous female can be tricked into anything. I'm just saying. Well, I didn't say it, actually. Captain Hook said it, but, a jealous female can be tricked into anything. Right? I think that's a major, major problem. I think that we have to get back. I don't want to just point out problems. I don't want to just point out problems and not talk about solutions, right? I think if we're going to grow, if we're going to do better in society, if we're going to do better as people, right? We've got to get out of our own way, right? Especially, I'm gonna say, especially Black people, right? There's a we can statistically go back and look at things that Black people did throughout history and how we were mentally and how we carried ourselves and stuff like that. And we look at what many of us, not all, of course, certainly not all. It's not even a majority, but it's a few. What a few of us have devolved to. A lot of that is because of the hatred of men. Why are there so many broken homes? Because through the hatred of men, broken homes were incentivized. And incredibly enough, the hatred of men is actually the hatred of women. Men not being around leaves women vulnerable, leaves the children vulnerable, leaves the households vulnerable, leaves the children more likely to grow up and become agents of chaos. Not that they all will, it just makes them more likely to. In some cases, I wish I knew then what I know now, but that's what it is. That's what it is. And I think that this overall hatred of men, unfortunately, is born of the hatred of women. It's born of the misogynistic hatred of women. Just like y'all's right to choose was born from a woman named Margaret Sanger who hated women and hated children and hated Black people and wanted to eradicate Black people at the source. That is your right to choose. And you want the right to choose in order to be able to take it from men. All right. I'm gonna stop. I'm letting it go. I'm done. I'm through. I ain't doing no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all too much. I'm giving y'all too much game for free. Look at this last comment right quick, real here. What the hell did I just say? Let's look at this last comment right here, real quick. Yeah, women can't stand each other. Real talk, Jo. Women can't stand each other. Some clown us men for not hanging in packs, but will hang out 10 deep and have all kinds of drama between them. We can't do nothing. We ain't allowed to do nothing. We can't go out in packs. We can't go out one or two deep. We can't sit at home and play video games. We can't read a book. We can't fall asleep in the passenger seat. We can't wear no socks with our shoes. Somebody tell me the things that women can't do. Not be hoes. Don't put on crazy clothes. Don't put on next to nothing out there. Don't disrespect. I'm just saying. Now they twerk in from Planned Parenthood. I've been drinking. Now they twerk in from Planned Parenthood, listening to Sexy Red. Exactly, man. Sexy Red is all of their spirit animals, bro. So, in my opinion, in conclusion, I think that we see more misandry in society, a lot more than misogyny. But I also believe that misandry, that hatred of men, is born of the hatred of women. And I think it's a lot deeper than that. I think it even goes into the spiritual realm, but I am not going to get into that tonight. That'll be an episode for another time. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. You guys have been great. Thank y'all so much. Let me tell you something, man. I have on many occasions. I've on many occasions dreaded having to do the entire show by myself. I ain't gonna lie, so I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all jumping on here, keeping the conversation going, and listening to me, talk my shit. Because that's what we do around here. We pour our glass and we talk some trash, man. That's what it's about. And listen, again, I appreciate every last one of you. As I've always said, I hope you all had a little bit of fun and enjoyed the conversation, and maybe even learned something. Maybe you got something that you want to take away for yourself later, right? Maybe not. Who knows? But all I can say is kind of what I always say, which is that there is a war for your mind out here. Okay, there's a war for your mind. That stuff about Margaret Sanger and the feminist movement and all these other kinds of things, man, they're just further confirmation about the war that is going on for your mind. So believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. All right, keep your eyes clean and your nose open. All right, you gotta keep everything straight focused, man, because there is a war for your mind. No matter what, always stay skeptical, always stay informed, always question the narrative. All right, because I'm telling you, there's a platypus trying to control your life. Was that a good pun? Was that good? No, y'all gonna get that one in the parking lot? Yeah, maybe. All right. It's all good. No worries, man. I definitely appreciate all of y'all, man. That's it. We are done. We out of here. It's been a hell of a day, man. Hell of a night. Definitely appreciate all of y'all. We'll be back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks time. See y'all. More King Talk.
Platypus is a metaphor for whatever's keeping you down. Like corporations are a platypus. Government's a platypus. Your teacher is a platypus. My teacher is a panda. Society is a platypus. My parents are a platypus. The media is a platypus. All this propaganda that we all got a platypus controlling us. It's me!